KEET TV presents Homework Hotline, the after-school show that fuses learning with fun. Watch local teachers bring the classroom on air and online. This is Homework Hotline.
Welcome to Homework Hotline. My name is Amy Taylor and I teach 7th and 8th grade math at Sunnybray Middle School in Arcata.
Hi, my name's Pam Halstead and I taught science at Fortuna High School.
Yay, welcome to, it's still the first week of the 16th season of, I've taught 19 years, so I have to forget to subtract.
Yes,
three.
that's right. The three,
of Homework Hotline. We love it so much.
So true.
Glad to be back. And we had math on Tuesday and now we have science, which they both overlap. But.
I know. And I was going to talk about fire, but I didn't know exactly. So I think I'm going to talk about an organ in our body that's extremely affected by the stuff that's produced by fire, which is smoke. So, Amy, right now we're wearing masks, and we're wearing masks because we already know it's COVID. But what is it that the mask is doing for us?
Well, probably two things. It's preventing things from getting into our lungs, and then it's preventing other people, if we say are sick, from getting the germs from us.
That's right. So both ways, whether you're inhaling like this or exhaling, going out, it's protecting both. Yes, and it's covering which two things on our face?
Nose and mouth.
Yes, because both of those are gateways to the lungs.
Yes.
And the lungs are nice and deep at our chest, which is good because if we had them outside our body, it wouldn't be so great. But fish are weird. They like have these gills, and they are kind of on the outside of the body. The water flows through, but that's not us.
Yes,
deep in our body. So let's deal with that.
But they're also underwater, so they're in that water.
That's true.
Versus we're out here. So.
All right, so check it out, Amy. We're now looking at a picture of kind of the lung system. The whole system the lung is working with. So I'm going to start at the very top, and I'm going to ask that you touch the very top underneath your chin and like right where your throat is, and do you feel something that's kind of hardish?
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Throat.
Okay, go look how I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like way high. Okay, you know what?
Way
That's
high.
a bone up there.
Oh,
that's stabilizing your tongue.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's called the hyoid bone. And the hyoid bone stabilizes your tongue, and it actually holds the next thing we're going to touch in place. Feel the bulge on your throat.
Yes.
The bulge is your larynx. And so the larynx is kept steady by the hyoid bone, which is up above, and then it's holding there, and that's your voice box, which we couldn't talk without. Okay, so there's the larynx, also known as the voice box. Okay, well, nice close up to that.
Which when I teach a lot my voice, that's because I'm talking so much.
Yes, you wear it out. Oh my gosh! So famous people like Adele and other famous singers have blown out the Steven Tyler of Aerosmith blew out their voice box. They damaged their voice box, a part of it, and so they had to get surgery to fix it. And it's really delicate. If you do it wrong, you won't be singing
Mine's just
anymore.
Talking, I'm not singing.
No, but that's the teacher's thing, like especially the beginning of school.
Come back, you're just
my
talking.
gosh.
So that's why my voice sounds a little froggy, because I've been talking all day
the whole time.
And I wasn't doing that before.
It's crazy.
So anyway, it's interesting.
It's the way it goes, So that tube that goes down, do you know the name of the tube that goes down to your lung? It's the esophagus is it goes to your stomach. And then the other tube is called the trachea. And it's also known as the windpipe, which is kind of easier. And the difference between the esophagus collapses when you aren't eating anything. It collapses or swallowing anything. But the trachea has to stay open because your lungs are the only thing deep inside your body that are constantly exposed to the outside. The outside, I mean, is going, if it's not exposed, there's air out there, right? And you need the air to be coming in. And without that opening, if it wasn't open and it just collapsed, you'd suffocate. Yeah, you couldn't.
Is that where they're putting when the respirators and stuff like that? Is that the
trachea? You know, that's a really yes.
It seems like you need
Although
to
I wish
open
I knew more about
the
ventilators. You mean?
Yeah, maybe that. But you think like you need to open that up wider.
Well, there is a thing where if stuff's destroyed up here, you make a hole.
Oh yeah.
So it will just come through. It's called
I know too. Inhalers for asthma help open that if there's.
That's true, and we're going to talk about asthma. That's perfect. Okay, good. So then we have the lungs, right? That's at the end. Well, I mean, you see the big thing there. And let's keep going. So the tubes that you see, the branching off, there's 2 tubes. They're called bronchi. One single one's called a bronchus. And then furthermore, the teeny weeny ones are called bronchioles. And a bronchiole is the little tiniest one, and there they are. Okay.
And that's all putting the air into your lungs.
That's right. And out.
And out. And pulling.
And that's the cool thing. It can do either one. It can go out and go in. Okay, nice. All right, our next picture is going to be of this tiniest part at the end of the bronchioles. And they look like grapes, basically. So we're now at the end of the bronchiole, and this is the place where gas exchange takes place. And by gases, I'm talking, what are the 2 gases you need to...
Carbon dioxide and oxygen.
Yes, those are the 2 you need. You need the oxygen, you need to get rid of the carbon dioxide. Right, so in comes the air, and the air brings the oxygen. And then there's an exchange, because you can see the red stuff on the air that looks like kind of magenta, pinky stuff on the outside. That's blood. So that the blood can dump the CO2 into these grapey things, and then it can also take the grapey things, bring the CO2 out. Yes.
So here's the oxygen stays in and the CO2.
I've got a nicer picture of it here in this next little picture on this same slide. So there's a close-up now of this part that we're going to be looking at. Okay, so if we close up on that part, this shows you the grape sacky thing.
Yes.
The alveolus, and then there's the blue is representing carbon dioxide, and the red is representing oxygen. So the oxygen.
So it's oxygen in the blood also.
Yes, and those little circly things are red blood cells.
So the oxygen goes into the blood, and the blood gives carbon dioxide into the lungs that gets rid of it out of your body.
Totally, yes. And they're very tiny little blood vessels, so they're called capillaries. They're really tiny.
How do you get carbon dioxide into your blood?
You'd get it because I know. So here's the thing.
I'm trying to understand all the logic.
No, it totally makes sense. All right. So what do you need oxygen for? You need it for metabolism, for your body to function at all. There's no energy without the oxygen.
Yes.
So your body takes in the oxygen, and then there's something called cellular respiration, which is not, breathing is respiration.
Yes.
But cellular respiration takes sugars, combines them with oxygen, and makes carbon dioxide. So it's all your body's chemistry that does this.
Breaking down food and stuff.
Yes.
Yes, all of these different
Bingo,
things.
yeah. So breaking the food down makes carbon dioxide.
Gotcha. And then it says, hey, I need to get rid of this. I don't want this. And then it puts it into your lungs.
It's so amazing, and it's all chemical.
It's all fast. It's like every time right now it's happening.
It's insane. And we're not that good, not very efficient. Our lungs don't 100% use that. If you're an athlete, you do a much better job. Swimmer, or a runner, or if you live in a place where the high altitude, you're much better at getting the oxygen than other people, like us at the sea level. Okay, so here's another picture. Now, this is another super important part of the lung system, because the lungs, if we had them here in front of us, it would have been cool if I had gotten some lungs, but they're squishy. They're like a sponge because they're full of air.
Oh, yeah.
So we need to protection. So if you feel around, your ribs, those are your ribs, and there's a muscle between called the intercostal, which holds it together. And then right in here, and sometimes it's right below the breastbone. I know, but that's where your diaphragm is.
Yes.
And the diaphragm is a super important muscle because that's what helps you to breathe.
So all under here is where your lungs are.
Yes, that's right. Okay, we'll go to the next slide, which is, here's just it's a GIF, which just shows the highlighted parts of what we just talked about. And I think it takes it to alveoli, maybe it just stops there. Oh, there we go. Those are kind of cool. All right, so we're gonna go now. So there is now we're gonna, well, thank you for showing that. Yeah, that's good. Bronchioles, alveoli. Cool, the grapey things.
So
okay,
it's
now
constantly doing that.
It is. So who cares that? What organ is moving the oxygen around your body? It's
blood.
Yeah, the blood is, and that's a fluid, and then there's an organ that is pumping that blood.
Your heart?
Yes. So let's take a look at the next picture on this slide. There we go. This is the heart and the lungs as they work together to move the heart receives the gases from the lungs, and then it pumps it out to the rest of the body. So let's check this out. Okay, we're on the right side of the heart. It's confusing. It looks like the left side of the heart, right? But we're looking at someone turned facing us. Yes. Okay, So the blue lines are deoxygenated blood that doesn't have oxygen, has CO2. That is going to go to directly the lungs, which are on either side of the heart, and that's deoxygenated blood, goes to the lungs where it picks up what? It gets rid of what first?
Carbon dioxide.
Yes, and it picks up
oxygen.
Good. So the oxygen's going to come back to the heart, and then the heart is going to pump it through the aorta, especially it's a really big vessel at the top of the heart, and then it's going to go to the rest of the body. So that's the team. The team is the heart and the lungs. And so let's look at what we're going to call that team. You could call it circulatory and respiratory, because circulatory is the heart and respiratory is the lungs, but there's another word for them too. And so the heart is the word cardio, which is a Greek word that means basically heart. And then the lungs are called pulmonary. So when you want to refer to both of them, it's cardiopulmonary.
Okay.
That's like the engine of you. If one of those things isn't working properly, you can severely suffer and have to get a doctor to help you, or you're in an accident, or you have a disease.
I know that the ECMO machines that they're using, like, oxygenates the blood. If it's not working, if they can't get that to happen, because you need that to move.
Yes.
Get it to your whole body.
Right. Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
But anyway, it's just making sense when you're, you hear these things and then you're like looking at these actual pictures.
And here's the thing. Yeah, the picture. Okay, so we got a trivia thing now. I think we have 8 questions or something. And I think this is from the Mayo Clinic. I stole the questions from, but this is, we've got 2 lungs here, a right lung and a left lung. Your 2 lungs are the same size, true or false?
I would guess false.
Okay. Good guess. Yay, Amy.
I just feel like they would kind of do
I know.
different. Yeah.
And plus, if you kind of look at these 2, the one on the right looks kind of like it has 3 lobes, and the one on the, well, that space is for the heart.
Okay, so what?
The heart fits, it wedges. Okay. Yeah, it's a little more on your left side than it is on the, So that is a falsehood. Oops. All right, so we now have a second question that we're going to take a look at. And it's about how much air, gallons, how many gallons, okay, this is a math thing, Amy, so this is going to be cool. How many gallons of air do you breathe in each day? Take a while. But this is cool because in math, the estimation thing is important, right?
Gallons is like, for air, you could do a lot.
Yeah.
I'll go over 2,900.
Okay, you're so close because the actual answer is, it's between.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's okay. 2,900 is in there. So
can you, if you're exercising, do more than that? Would that affect you at all?
Yes, and this is between, this is loose thing. Like, you know how you were talking on our last show about, like you said, it was 8 and maybe other people had 10, but that's still okay because it's within a range or something. Yeah, okay, so I brought a 5-gallon bucket. Sorry it's not more clean, but a 5-gallon bucket here is from our garden. And this is 5 gallons, and we're talking 2,100 to 2,900. Yes. So let's think about how many of these do you...
So we could do 2,000 and 3,000 kind of.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, 2,000 and 3,000. So 5.
If you have 20, so 5 goes into 24 times.
Yes.
So it'd be 400?
Yes.
4 times 20.
400 of these buckets.
To say, then we do 3,000, right?
Yes.
So it'd be, what did you say, 400?
What
did we say, 400?
No, we said 400 to then we're at...
Maybe 600. Was it 2,800?
Yes, 600.
5 into,
you got it. Into 30 is 6.
So kind of 400 to 600.
400 to 600,
of these per day that you're breathing.
Right. And if you're an athlete and you are actually training or doing something, you know,
probably go above.
Way higher.
But you're not in that range because you're not typical. You're doing higher.
That's right. They're doing averages there of people. And man versus woman and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Cool. All right. So just wanted to demonstrate that. Next, we're going to actually do a, do I have a thing? Yeah. Do a thing between the 2 of us, and we're going to choose balloons.
Okay.
Okay, so here's the question. As you age, your lungs hold less air. Is that true or false?
I'm going to guess true, but I don't know.
You are right. And now we're going to look at a graph.
I was thinking because things kind of slowed down or something. I don't know.
No, they do. And actually, there's a few things that happen. One is that our lungs get less elastic. So will you choose one of these balloons that we can just use as a balloon? And I will choose a different color. Okay, cool. So This is elastic, everybody. Look, we're stretching this, which we need to do before we blow into a balloon anyway, so might as well do this. If I was demonstrating an older lung, because I am an older person, I would not be able to stretch as much as Amy. Amy can stretch hers a lot more than me. I mean, depending on also how healthy, no, for sure, and how healthy of an older person I am.
And conditions of, like, if you live with more pollution or smoke. Or
absolutely.
Higher, or you're talking about elevation, maybe they're better at, or those might be better even because you're used to it, or all these different things.
And do you exercise is huge.
Yeah.
So we have a graph here that shows going, is that a parabola? What is that graph?
It almost looks logarithmic. I don't know.
Logarithmic. Okay, at the beginning it's exponential, right? And then it
kind of,
and then
yeah.
It sort of
it almost looks like a population growth.
It does. It looks like population totally, and it hits carrying capacity at the top. You're right. But
I don't know.
Okay, so
a lot. Well, you have piecewise functions a lot where they're different pieces or different functions. You know, like they change. Like that looks parabolic. Now it looks logarithmic. I mean, they can change or exponential.
Well, give me approximately when our lungs are at their best. Look at the number down here at the bottom, because on the x-axis it's age in years.
Like between 25 and probably, that's like 25, so 12 and a half. So like 32-ish.
Sure, that's
maybe,
it.
I mean, because you're kind of coming,
like
this kind of coming down.
Your best, but you know, again, it's probably a variable. So if you have a lung disease, then that little dotty line goes down pretty quickly, and that's if you have chronic
Which one's lung disease? This one?
Yeah, the big chunky line.
Oh, whoops, sorry, did I just touch it?
No, so it doesn't matter. I can go back.
Okay.
Oops, I can go forward. Sorry.
But this one, the big, that one's the one with the...
Where you have a lung disease for whatever reason.
And then this is impaired lung.
That's right. So this is like premature birth. Your lungs don't have time to properly, develop.
But this is something else. That's way down.
Yes, that's if you have a disease where your lungs get sort of hard, which is fibrosis, or you have COPD.
But man, if you don't, it doesn't, I mean, it goes down, but like you hang on pretty, you hang on pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So we're going to do an experiment here with ourselves, and we're going to see who can, I haven't tried this yet, but we're both going to take deep breaths. So when you take the deepest breath that you can, and we'll do this, okay?
Okay. And then what are we doing?
The deepest breath we can.
We're trying to blow.
We're going to try to blow into this to make it as big as we can, but one breath. You cannot take any more, okay?
So one breath, blow it all into this.
All the way in and all the way out. This is known as vital capacity or forced expiratory volumes, because we're going to find the volume, how much space it takes up inside. Okay. Oh, God. Okay.
You tell me to go.
Ready, set, go. Oh, Amy, yours is leaking. Wait, Amy, we're fairly close. I almost passed out. We're fairly competitive, both of us. So good thing neither of us did pass out, because that was frightening. Okay, so that's good. Look, our lung volume. That's not bad, Amy.
Oh, that was hilarious. I know, I'm like, should I stop?
Should I stop? No, hers is bigger. Hers is bigger than mine. Okay, so all right. So mine's not too bad, because Amy is actually a runner. I'm a walker. So I do exercise.
Sounds like a zombie.
Exercise. Yeah. I walk. Oh, yeah. I don't have a walker. I'm not. Yeah.
No, I mean zombies are called walkers.
They're called walkers. So I didn't know the zombies were called walkers.
Okay,
so.
it's fine.
All right.
Yes, you walk. I jog sometimes.
Oh, yeah. Yes. And so I walk every day.
Yes. But we're still
fairly close. I'm 63. Amy is
42.
42.
I'm like somewhere close in there.
Yeah. No, so good. Good. Yay for us.
Yes.
We have some capacity there. Yes. It's not that bad. Not really. All right, good. There we go. So the breathing now. It is done by what part? The diaphragm, the trachea, or the arteries?
Right, okay, the work. Breathing. Arteries.
Actually, no, it's the diaphragm.
The work of breathing.
The diaphragm, because the diaphragm. Okay, check it out. Okay. It's a muscle. So we have a picture here.
So work is like having to do, like the arteries maybe just do, and that has to like work at
exactly.
it.
The arteries are just there. Yeah.
Okay.
So the picture actually on the right is probably the best one to look at.
Okay.
So on the in the picture on the breathing in, when you want to breathe in, you contract your diaphragm, and by contracting it, it pushes it down. That makes the space inside your lungs bigger.
Okay.
So it's increasing the volume, and then when you breathe out, it's making, look how high up the diaphragm is. It's that red line. That's making the space smaller. And this is all related to Boyle's law, which is pressure and volume. So you're inhaling.
Kind of from
20
years ago.
No, for sure. So when you make the space bigger, the volume, increase the volume, you make it so that the pressure goes down, and that pushes the air into you. So volume gets bigger, pressure goes down, and so air always goes from where there's more pressure, the plus, to where there's less pressure.
Yes.
Okay, so and then the other side, expiration, exhaling.
Now there's all that, so now it needs to go out here where they're...
Exactly. We've basically squeezed the air out. We've made a smaller space for it, so it has to be forced out.
Yes.
Okay, so I took the trumpet in high school, and I played it. The reason I'm bringing this up is...
Did you play in, like, Crab's Grass?
I did not, but that was very fun. I wish I had. So my trumpet teacher always told me, breathe with your diaphragm. So to breathe with your diaphragm, okay, take a deep breath. Just take a deep breath right now.
Okay.
Okay. Are your shoulders going up?
Yes.
Okay. Right. So they're not supposed to. Well, I'll show you why. I'll show you why. Don't worry. It's okay. Okay. Put your hand right here on your diaphragm.
Okay.
Push out. While you breathe, push this out. So breathe in and push this part out. Push your stomach out.
Yeah. I feel
okay. Now push it in. Squeeze it.
I feel like.
Okay, so what my trumpet teacher made me do is just sit in the chair because it helps me to get more air to do that.
So I was doing my shoulders.
No, everybody does. Everybody does, because you think that's making more. It's not making more because you think, but it's not helping. So apparently you're just supposed to keep it down. All right, I'll just show you what I had to do. And then you play long tones. This is very boring music. It's not even music, but you hold it. It's been a long time since I played this, but you have to hold that for as long as you can, like up to a minute if you can. And,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, and then you just got to go to the next note and blow. So it's just practicing to make your lungs up so you have more air. Yeah. All right, let's keep going.
Different with wind instruments than like a violin.
No, for sure. Wind instruments are wonderful. And that's one way to keep your healthy, your lungs healthy. It's
just
the breathing.
Like exercising or wind instruments.
Yes. Okay. What controls your breathing? Lungs, diaphragm, brain. Your brain is right. There are sensors in your heart. They sense how much CO2 or oxygen you have. That's sent to the part of your spine that's known as the spinal cord, which is your brain stem, also known as the medulla. That then sends message to the muscles that we have, intercostal and the diaphragm. It says contract, and that makes you breathe more. So when you're CO2, and it's all about CO2, the higher the CO2, your body's like, oh my God, start breathing more. Get rid of the CO2. Okay, let's keep going, because there's a lot. Okay, the lungs' first line of defense against toxins are tiny hairs, bacteria, white blood cells.
I was going to say white blood cells.
That's what you think, but it's actually tiny hairs.
Okay.
It's weird. This is the
white blood cells. That's more like bacteria.
But it's still good. But this is so constantly, Amy, as you're breathing in little tiny particles, which you don't want in your lungs.
Oh, so it's moving it through these
constantly. And that nice little diagram, which is actually for a kennel cough, the one that's moving.
Okay.
Those are called cilia, those little hairs.
Okay.
And all that junk that's in the moving part, like the mucus, it traps, and then there's a part that's like sort of watery, and it moves it forward.
Gotcha.
Okay, cool. Here we go. Pneumonia is an infection that fills your lungs with
fluid.
You got it. It's horrible. It's a horrible infection, and you really need to. Have you had it?
No.
I haven't either, thank goodness. I mean, it's terrible because...
My son Cooper had it, though, and he could barely talk because it was one lung. It was like a while ago. But
yeah, that happens. It's only one lung or whatever.
Yeah, but you have to take like a deep breath to like talk and stuff.
Yes. Yes, that's amazing. All right, so
But our body survives. I mean, it will work its hardest.
It will work its hardest.
With the one
yeah, and there's viral pneumonia and there's bacterial pneumonia, so there's different ones. Yeah. So the bacteria is if you take antibiotics to get rid of it. But the viral, you just have to get better. Rest, drink water, sleep. Okay, so here's something that is spelled kind of funny because that's the way it works. Spirometer, like respirometer. Mm-hmm. When have you had surgery?
Yes.
Okay, so did I. Did they give you one of these and make you blow in it and make that little blue piston go up?
No, I don't think so.
They made me do it. I had my appendix out.
Okay.
And that's like a fairly good size cut. Because they're worried when you're laying there, like you've had anesthesia, right? Yeah. And they're worried that you could get pneumonia. because your lungs are getting no workout. This is like a workout for your lungs. So if you just go, try pushing out as hard as you can. See how it's like, and while you're doing that, you're trying to make this little thing go up. So you're just, I didn't ever do very well with it, but it's okay. I tried my hardest. All right, here's our last lung trivia. You get asthma and bronchitis in your...
I think it's your lungs.
Yeah, it's actually your airways.
Oh, okay.
So here's the thing.
Oh, because it's clenching.
Yes, it is clenching, and it's the muscles.
That's why the inhaler opens it up.
It does, yeah.
I had exercise-induced asthma, and if I did that, it would be like, like you can breathe.
Because you feel, if you're having
an
asthma
anymore,
attack.
But it was like.
Did you have an asthma attack ever?
No, but it was just so deep wheezing. Oh. And then the inhaler, then all of a sudden,
oh my gosh, I can breathe now. Yeah. So the wheezing.
It was more younger, though. I think sometimes you can outgrow stuff.
No, that's good. Yeah. Thank heavens. So the size of the airway is obstructed because the muscles contract, and then it swells up your lining, so you have less place for the air to go in. Yeah, so it's horrible. Yeah, so you also make excess mucus, which makes it harder to get the air in.
That fluid plus the squeezing.
Yeah, plus the squeezing, it's awful. And exactly why asthma? A lot of times it's from growing up in polluted areas, or growing up where you have to use wood smoke inside of a place, or being exposed to fire smoke is not good either. Something I had no idea about with asthma is little boys like below puberty get it more commonly than girls, but women like you and me, adult women, are more commonly have it than adult men. And it's because at puberty there's hormones, and that tends to do it. And it says that 10% of the world's population is affected by it, so that's a lot of people. If you're talking 7-some billion.
Well, and you think it just like you said, pollution and smoke.
Yeah,
and things like
absolutely. And then so it can be triggered. These are triggers. Pets like pet dander, especially if you have allergies, you can have it. Yeah, exercise too much. People have to bring their inhalers sometimes. Have you had kids having any asthma when they were running?
Not really.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
But
yeah, stress, etc. You can see the different things. But yeah, and inhalers is really
pollution.
important. Yeah, there's some triggers here, just in a little kind of nice picture thing. Yeah. So we know our lungs are really important, and so how can we keep our lungs as healthy as we can? First, smoking is a huge way to make it more difficult for your lungs to work well. And there's a lot of chemicals in smoke, and so in the cigarette smoke. So it's good to avoid that. And then secondhand smoke, if it's at all possible to avoid that, that's important. Running, walking, moving, any kind of movement, biking, yeah. Aiming for a healthy weight, because your body has to work harder when you are heavier, and then getting regular checkups just to make sure. So, hey, thank you so much. Yeah, wear a mask. No kidding. It's important.
Right,
Thank you so much. See you.